Welcome back to the Legal Brief, the show where we crush the various legal myths and misinformation surrounding various areas of the gun world. I'm your host, Adam Kraut, and today we're talking about how California is back at it again with yet another round of gun control laws. Yeah, I know. SB Tactical, the originator of the pistol stabilizing brace, set the bar for innovation and product development in the PDW pistol category. From the insanely popular SB-M4 to the adjustable SB-A3 and even kits for pump-action firearms, SB Tactical braces are available for a wide variety of firearm platforms in fixed, adjustable, and side-folding models. To get 15% off your legally transported and carried pistol braces, use the code TGC15 over at sb-tactical.com. Before we get started, I'm running for the NRA Board of Directors and I need your help. Head on over to adamkraut.com or click the link down in the description to grab a petition and let your voice be heard. Now, back to me. Recently, 8 different bills were advanced by committees in California, and after the recent tragedy down in Florida, 2 of them are now on their way to the governor for signature. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Adam, doesn't California already have a billion different laws about guns anyway? Yeah, California has a large number of laws on the books, but apparently, at least according to their politicians, not enough. We're going to explain all 8 of these one by one, and since they didn't all have names, we here at TGC put our brains together and created some of our own. First up, Assembly Bill 1968, the It's Okay to Be Crazy Once, Crazy Twice, Lose Your Rights Act. This one would create a lifetime prohibition on anyone who has been taken into custody, assessed, and admitted to a designated facility because he or she is a danger to himself, herself, or others as the result of a mental health disorder 2 or more times in any 1-year period. If this bill were to be signed into law and a person would find themselves back in a facility within 1 year of previously being there, bye-bye firearms rights for life. Now, there is a petition process to get your rights restored. However, if the petition is denied, you have to wait 5 years before you can try again. This bill is one of the ones that's currently awaiting review by the governor. Assembly Bill 2103, otherwise known as the Minimum Amount of Flare Required Act, would require a minimum of 8 hours of training to receive a concealed carry license in California.
We need to talk about your flare. Okay, 15 is the minimum.
You know, the Nazis had pieces of flare, but they made the Jews wear them.
And yes, it is possible to get a concealed carry license in California. Currently, the way the law is written, and the best I could tell from several different sources, including the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Concealed Weapons Licensing Policy, the only requirement with regard to length is that it not exceed 16 hours. So, Californians would need to undergo a mandatory number of hours of training in order to obtain a concealed carry license. This is the other bill that's awaiting review by the governor. Next up, Assembly Bill 1927, the Here, You Have My Freedom Act, would require the DOJ to study the concept of a voluntary prohibition list. Yes, that's right, the California DOJ is going to investigate how you should be able to sign up to give your rights away. The bill requires a report to be submitted to the legislator no later than January 1, 2020. If somebody doesn't want to own a gun, couldn't they, I don't know, not buy one? Keeping up with the Joneses, Assembly Bill 2888, the LOL Due Process Act, would implement gun violence restraining orders. The bill would allow an employer, a coworker, or an employee of a secondary or post-secondary school that the person has attended in the last 6 months to file a petition for an ex parte 1-year or renewed gun violence restraining order. As we've beaten to death on other episodes, bills such as these are riddled with due process issues, so we're not going to dive into the weeds on that one. Although, I've got to say, I'm honestly a little surprised California didn't already have this on the books. If you're one of those people that enjoys going to gun shows at the Cow Palace, Senate Bill 2021, otherwise known as the Bullshit Act, would put an end to that. That's right, the bill would outright prohibit gun shows to occur there. Apparently, that particular venue contains too much freedom and they want to put a stop to it. Senate Bill 1100, otherwise known as the You Must Be This Tall to Freedom Act, would prohibit the sale or transfer of a firearm by a licensee to anyone under 21 years of age, with a few minor exemptions. Those include things like valid hunting licenses issued by the state, law enforcement, and members of the military. Here we see yet again another state attempting to regulate when a person may exercise their constitutional right to keep and bear arms. But wait, there's more!
Hi, Billy Mays here.
Senate Bill 1177, the Rationing of Firearms Act, would restrict any firearms purchase to one every 30 days, barring a few limited exemptions. Currently, the law restricts purchases of a handgun to one every 30 days. Surely there's got to be an argument in here somewhere that this is violative of the Second Amendment. After all, the ability to acquire arms in order to exercise that right must come into play here. Last up is Senate Bill 1487, the Toto Act. Actually called the Iconic African Species Protection Act, this one would essentially just fall short of making it illegal to hunt in Africa by prohibiting the possession of certain species of animals or their parts. The fines would range from anywhere between $5,000 and $40,000 for a violation. Animals include the usual suspects, as well as zebras and hyenas. I didn't even know you could get hyenas. The bill even provides a reward for information which leads to a successful fine imposition. See something about snitches getting stitches. As you can see, California is continuing down the road of finding new ways to add more restrictions to firearms rights. Which begs the question, when is enough gonna be enough? I know we've got a big audience out in California, so please, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. That's it for this episode. If you've learned anything from the show, help us out and hit that like button. Make sure you share the video with your friends. Don't forget to get subscribed, and if you enjoyed the video, consider supporting us via the links down in the video description. Be sure to check out the Gun Collective podcast, available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. And as always, thanks for watching. Recently, 8. That's 9. That's not 9. That's not 8. This one would create a lifetime prohibition on anyone who had been
Make yourself laugh on that one?
Yeah, I did. If you're one of those people that enjoys going to gun shows at the Cow Palace, if you're I'm just gonna laugh at this.
The shirts worn in today's video on the Gun Collective have been provided by Patriot Patch. Closed captions have also been brought to you by Patriot Patch Company. Be sure to click the link in the video description to check out all of their great products, including their cleaning mats.